let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League now. Let's talk about matches played yesterday. Let's start with that. Of course, there are matches to be played today. There's a postponed game. So a lot of interesting things to talk about. So let's start with that. Results. A lot of interesting results. But Wilfred, as we wait for the results to pop up on screen, any surprises for you? Look at Group A.
Well,
any surprise?
We just have to talk about MFM.
We've called them bad travelers. We've said so many things.
Yeah.
They heard our cry. They decided to win.
Well, they like beating Remo.
Yes,
they actually beat them last season. I think they beat them twice even at Agege and also away. And so it's no surprise. Somebody actually said it earlier this week that MFM will win this game, and it turned out to be so. Maybe because it was played in Oshobo, bad pitch, by the way, it must be stated.
No advantage for anybody.
No advantage.
Wait until you see Abia Warriors pitch. You see that.
Or the Uniben own, right?
Or Uniben. That's the sports
I said that
complex.
intentionally, actually.
That's a sports complex.
I hope you got that.
That's not a stadium. That's a sports complex.
Okay, Ogbemudia Stadium is still coming.
It's still precisely.
All
so
right.
wait till you see that.
But just to add that MFM, there's something the coach does, Fidelis. Whenever they go away, he feels a weak inside, and that I start wondering, why is that so? Could it be a resentment in the sense that, look, when I go away, I know I'm obviously going to lose. I don't know, I'm just wondering, or could it be fixture congestion? That's another thing.
A lot of reasons.
So, yeah, but when they play at home, it's always a full strength side. But you know, in Nigeria, if you win all your home games, you actually get to maybe qualify for continental football at least.
Absolutely.
Sneak some draws. All right, this one in Group B.
Yeah, this one I'll say Kano Pillars, surprise. I was expecting them to get something out of this one. For that's against Goran. For Heartland, Oriental Derby, these are neighboring states, like 30 minutes thereabouts between both teams. But again, they've done very well this season, even picked up a win on the road, and so this was a game I expected them to get something out of it. But Abia Warriors, kudos to them, 2 straight Oriental Derby victories for them. First one in a Newi beating Ifeanyoba, and now they've also won 1-0 against Heartland. Now it's good to see Ifeanyoba bounce back after that loss against Abia Warriors at the weekend.
All right, so let's talk about Abia Warriors for a while. Let's take a look at that game. Cecilia was talking about the pitch, talking about some other things. I'm more interested in the game, though.
Yeah.
So,
we should talk about the pitch too.
Abia Warriors, at some point, the trouble signs were there, but they found a way to claw their way back on the strength of 2 wins. One away against FC Ifeanyoba, then this one against
the lovely pitch.
Okay.
No, it's on our screen, so we have to talk about it. Okay.
I won't go there.
Can I go there?
Go there, but I'll stick with the results.
Yes, this pitch, I've actually played football on this pitch way back before Abia Warriors came into the NPFL. That was in Omaha. And in all honesty, when I heard Abia Warriors were going to use this pitch some years ago, I felt maybe it was going to be way better than it used to be. But what I've been saying, it's not so different from what I used to see way back. And I'm talking about like 2007, thereabouts. And in all honesty, we've been complaining about this pitch. It's been like this for many seasons, and the LMC keep approving this pitch to host NPFL games season in, season out. We need to grow past this. If we're talking about picture quality, you see the South African League. We boast that, look, we have more talent than they do, but when you look at the packaging of the league, you want to buy into it.
Packaging.
Yes,
packaging, better, way
but
better.
it's not about what they do on the pitch. But here in Nigeria, we have so much talent, but look at this. Even the coverage, I'm sorry to say, the coverage is not professional enough. Because when you have a better coverage, it gives you, I think it gives you a better view of what's going on the pitch. But this just looks, a lot could be said about this, but we really need to work on this.
Yeah, that's why I love watching games at the Akwa Ibom Stadium. You know,
okay.
One of the best pitches, Sani Abacha Stadium. But you also have other pitches that are really cool. But it's just that 2, 3, 4, 5 pitches will just kind of, dent the whole image of the league, which is really not cool. I think maybe, as you mentioned, LNC will have to look into it. I mean, this pitch, of course, all you need is just grass and maintenance. That's it.
No,
what stop them from just grassing it?
We know it's very difficult to maintain grass by Nigerian standard.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, by Nigerian standard.
Okay.
Yes. What's happening at the National Stadium, even in Abuja?
Hold on. The Asaba Stadium that they just built. I mean, that's the Stadium. It's grass, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said just built.
Oh, I'm just saying.
No, you said just
Aqua
built.
Ibom, I mean, Uyo Stadium.
That was commissioned like 3 years ago or thereabouts.
Is it synthetic
no,
or grass? I'm just saying it's maintenance. I mean, you already had the field, right?
Do you know why those two scenarios are very, very different?
It
you
should
have
be
governments that are invested into those projects.
Can we take a cue from them?
And what those projects are new.
I understand that. Yes, they're new.
Okay, give those projects under 10 years.
I understand perfectly well what you're saying. What we are saying is, it's grass you need, right?
Yeah.
To grow it and maintain it.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult. Okay, I think we'll end it here
By
because it seems
By
there's no
Nigerian
way
standard, actually.
anything is going to be
Let's
possible
take
by what
post-match
you're saying.
reactions.
There's not like Nigerian standard. Set a standard. We have with some stadiums that are really good and that will say, why can't other clubs take a cue from them? Fine, you know it's owned by government, but that's where you play your football. Okay.
And also political.
Let's get reactions. Let's get reactions from the two coaches. One, of course, obviously happy, and the other one wasn't happy with officiating at all.
Of course, we feel very great. Another 3 points to second the Rental Derby. The boys have done great job, and we're very happy. It was not easy.
My team is doing well. They are really doing well. But as I told you, the referees, they should be so strict.
Okay, reactions coming from both coaches there. Of course, Makiwa should be happy being able to pick up all 3 points against Heartland, who have been on good form this season. You were still referring to pitch and all that, how the sports complexes will be lost, how you covered Nougat games there and everything. Fine, you remember those days, how good it was, and now you have insurance playing there. What stopped them from actually fixing it? Because schools are not in session, we know that, as to strike and all that.
But you also have to remember that the Uniben Sports Complex belongs to federal government. It's a federal school. Okay. And when Uniben actually hosted that was Nougat Games, I think 2010, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2010. The pitch was very good. I actually saw it because I covered that particular tournament. But beyond then, between then and now, it's 9 years.
No, grass 2 years ago was also good. I was there 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago.
2 years ago was also good. I'm thinking maybe the rating season and all that. No.
3 hours will not be enough for us to talk about pitches. So let's move on. Let's move on the show. But you listen to the two managers quickly. The Turkish technical advisor of Heartland, obviously unimpressed with the ref. And marking when you win, I mean,
you should be impressed.
You should be with your display.
Yeah, and managers are not meant to speak about referee decisions. So I don't know what the LMC would do as regards this when you're not when you start criticizing the referee. But he obviously saw certain things that he wasn't happy about. So we just have to wait for the match report.
That's what he needs to do. Can we take a look at the standings now? What's it looking like? Okay, before that, today's fixture, Wiki Tourist and Eimba. Oh, wow, I love that. Niger Tornadoes and Sunshine Stars, the Christina United and Ben Insurance, Rangers and Lobby Stars at that game have been postponed. Yeah. So, because both of them, of course, for obvious reasons, continental engagement. You have Nasarawa United and Plateau United also be in action. Yobe Desert Stars and Aqua United will also be in action.
I'll be interested in Aqua United, you know, back on the road, how they're going to do. You know, this is how it stands in Group A, but of course, some of the matches played today would likely have an impact on MFM, Rivers United, Sunshine Stars, Eimba in top 4, and those 4 teams down there need to do something to get out of troubled waters.
Eimba away to Wiki, they might take confidence in the fact that Sunshine Stars actually won when they visited Wiki Tories, and Eimba are good travelers. You have to give them that credit. So a win for them could push them into top 3. But for Aqua United, you made mention going away. It's never been.
You know, I want to see because with what has been happening the last game, so maybe the riot act read to them. Maybe it's going to start.
Working. Maybe we'll find out when you're away.
Away, precisely because they won that at home, and which expectedly they've called that Uyo Stadium fortress, but it hasn't been a fortress this season. So from what you have here, Group B, Ifeanyi, of course, still topping. Heartland second despite that loss. Just knowing that they played 7 games, so they should have that at the back of their mind. Kano Pillars still have a game in hand and they position expectedly they can move forward if they win their outstanding game. We also have Kada City. Well, I'm talking about Kada City, actually, the ones having a game in hand. Coming to Plaza have all 7 games.
You're looking at Aqua and Yobe Desert Stars
Go down.
going up against, I think they're going up against each other. And a win for any of them, they might just
take them up.
Take them off that.
True.
But
keep an eye on Warriors too. They have a game in hand and they're on 10 points. That means if they pick up a win in that game, they push up on this table and they go to second. So it's very competitive. That tells you that points are very delicate this season. You can't afford to drop points incessantly. But it's also good to see that we're getting away wins. That tells you that the league is actually competitive.
Papers, please. I'm starting with Sporting Sun.
All right.
Yeah. And this one, Moses says Zinedine Zidane is actually his idol. He's in the papers these days almost every time. Okay, City reclaiming top sport, and Chelsea slaps £100 million on Hazard. It's going to be taken. That's cheap for him.
I think it will be more than that eventually.
Yeah, it will be more than that, because if this is it, then it's very cheap. Complete Sports is next, and Jesus, of course, win and send City to the top, and Balogun Stars in Brighton victory in that FA Cup fourth round replay that they played. And MFM grab away win. I'm liking these papers now, using, NPFL. Yeah, top stories. The other time it was a Sporting Sun, and now we have Complete Sport finally having this as a top story.
I'll ask people for review as we go. Sporting Live, the Thursday edition. Love interesting stories. Borough fans blast Pulis over Mikel and others. That will make an interesting read. I'd like to know what that's referring to. And all the other stories that we've read about. What do you think this might be about?
The Borough fans. Mikel was left out in their last game. He wasn't dressed for that one. That was on Tuesday even.
So they're angry with the new acquisitions.
That's the one they lost. So
it's not part of the reason why they lost. So
it's not, one person doesn't make the entire team.
All right.
Yeah, it's only there to boost their confidence, especially when you consider his trophy cabinet. So.
And this one on the bottom strip, it talks about Raw wants Eagles to camp in Abuja. It says inadequate facility will hinder the ambition to win. Okay. What do you make of that?
But they are playing in Asaba. Yeah, I mean the final World Cup qualifier, and they also get to play the friendly against Egypt there. So why Abuja? Just stay close to the venue where you get to play.
All right. The picture will be clearer in the days to come. Wilfred, I want to thank you for your time today.
It's a pleasure. Yes.
Always good having you around.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And we'll take the conversation out of the studio.
All
right. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. We enjoyed this, and of course, we're going to do it again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
And I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thanks for watching.